This is the Dr. JoJo, GA Center Patreon Leaderboard Champion, and you are listening to the Escape Pod cast. This show was recorded in front of a live Twitch audience. The FDA has identified several new side effects associated with taking the Escape Pod cast. These include llama drama, waving your arms around and causing somebody to spontaneously explode, praying to RN Jesus, heli no bueno, and the urge to obey. If any of these happen, a doctor will see you soon, TM. Take it away, boys.
One is a Grand Arena specialist from the UK. The other is a territory battle tactician from the US. Together, there are no signs of intelligent life on board. With both having played this game since launch, the one thing we are sure of is that you will be entertained. The Escape Pod Cast, a service of the Escape Pod Castaways. A weekly podcast about the mobile game Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Live from the network studios of Yavin 4, here are your hosts, Neil Andrew Eyre and Paul Anthony.
Coming up on this week's edition of the Escape Pod Cast.
Yes, we are a day late in recording this, but it also means we have a jam-packed episode.
Just when you thought we got out of Conquest, they pulled us back in.
Conquest 8 begins in a few days, and they have made several fixes to the feats.
How did we do in Conquest 7? We'll look back at it together.
Both Paul and I found different guests this week, so we have a double incoming transmission.
First up, recent SWGOH retiree Lazy Turtle joins us in our first incoming transmission.
We will talk about his decision to walk away from Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, like so many others have recently.
And find out what he's going to do for the future of his channel.
Then in our second incoming transmission, we bring back Blue Eyes of Good Morning Korriban.
We check in to see if he's still loving the dark side.
And ask if his partner Sturm is still winning with Finalizer.
We also talk about how guilds handle it when beloved members leave.
Heli and the Noob's final run of their current episode is this week.
And Patreon's choice is always on the bridge.
All this and breaking news as and if it happens on a Saturday.
Right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast News.
I did the cardinal sin there just a moment ago. I didn't turn on the mics. And welcome into a Sunday episode of the Escape Podcast.
Because Saturday worked so well for us, didn't it?
Exactly. So you heard Saturday in the intro, but we're actually recording this on a Sunday. That is why it's a little bit delayed. We apologize. But Neil, give us the open.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our first Sunday episode of the Escape Podcast. I'm your host, Nev, and as always, I'm joined by my hetero life partner, Paul. Paul, how are you doing this Sunday?
TGIS.
TGIS, yes.
Oh my gosh. So, things that we said Saturday that we wanted to do some quick acknowledgments on. It was Dr. JoJo's birthday. We wanted, who is a amazing original supporter of this show. We wanted to wish him a happy birthday. And I also gave a shout out to Tallest Forever on in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes for putting up an amazing fight and actually clearing my executor. They said that they did it with Rebels with a finalizer cleanup. So congratulations to them. Wonderful job in that. So, Rand B says that I am going down in fantasy football. I play Ray Rock right now, Rand B. I don't play you in fantasy football. And you guys, the Browns are playing at the halfway point of this show. It's amazing. It's amazing that that I actually agreed to this. So, Neil, what about you? Any shout outs from this past week?
Nah, not really. My previous two competitors pretty quiet. My last one didn't even have an SWGOH.gg account, so I didn't have any history on him whatsoever. None. no history. It's really weird. It's gone kind of quiet on my front. When I was around the 5.3, 5.4 mil GP mark, I was coming across a lot of competitors that were, friendly and talkative, and we talked in chat and even did a couple of live matches. But ever since I crossed the 5.6, it's weird. I've come across like a cluster of competitors just keep themselves to themselves. I mean, a lot of them are foreign based. I have faced a lot of foreign based competitors, faced a couple of Far Eastern competitors, a couple of European competitors, and several Russian competitors. So there's going to be language barriers in there that stop us from communicating with each other.
By the way, I'm an asshole. It was Dr. Feelgood's birthday, not Dr. JoJo's birthday.
Oh, yeah, Dr. Feelgood's birthday.
So I apparently now owe him a pony. I will find a way to get you a pony, Dr. Feelgood. So, yes.
You want a pony, go vote for Vermin Supreme.
No, I will actually find a way to get Dr. Feelgood a pony now that I've screwed everything up.
Okay.
So, as we were talking about Saturday when everything started to glitch out, Conquest 7 came and went. How did Conquest 7 treat you, Neil?
Just grindy. Really, really, really grindy. An unbelievable time. Maybe not for Sector 1. I was given guides. The guides for Sector 1, I had exactly what was needed in order to follow the guides to complete all of the feats minus the bounty hunter feats for Sector 1. So Sector 1 wasn't an issue for me. It was Sector 2, 3, 4, and 5 that were just an unbelievable sink, and too many crystals. The refresh rate for energy was too long, and it cost too much.
See, I only refreshed. How many times did you refresh? I only refreshed twice, and I think
I spent 400 crystals refreshing in that first 5 days, but after that, I was done. I will not touch 200 refreshes. I don't have a roster that wins every single time.
Right, but no, I'm talking. I didn't complete Conquest 7. I didn't even get to Jedi Master Luke.
Yeah, okay.
Jedi Master Kenobi.
Explains what I did get. I mean, I didn't get past Jedi Master Kenobi. That was the only battle that I didn't do. But I would be in sectors, and I wasn't getting the team. So I would look at a guide, and a guide would say, use this team and use it against this squad. I never got that squad. So someone would be like, oh, you use this squad against Phoenix, or against Bad Batch, or against the Geos, or against the Separatists. And in that entire sector, I never got that squad. So I'm using the squad that is in the guide in order to get the feat, but I could never find, so I was looking for teams close to it, approximate to it. It wouldn't work. I would lose. So there's 20 energy gone, and then I would have to change my data cards. So that's 27 energy gone, or 30 or 34 energy gone straight away with no victory. So I'm losing 34. Let's say hypothetically I have to change 2 data discs. Okay, so I lose the battle. There's 20, and then I've got to change 2 data discs. There's 14, and then I've got to go into the battle again. There's another 20. So 54 energy in order to win one battle, and you only get 144 from a refresh. So I've used more than 1/3 of my energy.
No, you only get 120 in a refresh.
Yeah, no. What I mean is it goes up to 144.
Right.
So it goes up to 144. I see the 140, or between 140 144, and I go in to start doing things. I lose one battle, and then in order to win, so I'm spending 54 energy to win one battle. And like I said, that's 1/3 of your energy. That's ridiculous. To have to use 54 energy just to win one battle. You lose one, and you have to change. You lose because you can't win. So you do what is this. You do what is necessary to win that battle. You either change your faction or you change your data cards.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Bodhi,
just too much of a time sink.
Bodhi is saying that End All Be All has a good guide. So we'll
I've
try
watched his video. I've watched his video and I have read his guide, and his is the one that I'm planning on attempting, because if you go all the way to the end of End All Be All's table.
Mm-hmm.
I actually tried to get him on as a guest so that he could talk about this. I really wanted to get him on.
Let's try for him next week.
We'll try for him next week. Yeah, definitely. But down the far right column, it says what characters you need. But what he does is he provides options. So he doesn't say, in order to get these feats, use this squad. He actually has like 2 or 3 options for different characters and different factions and different squads that you can use in order to achieve the same block of feats. And that's why I want to try, that's why I'm going to try Endals. So next for Conquest 8, I'm going to try End All Be Alls and see if my squad can do what his guide is suggesting.
Yeah. So let's look at the changes really quick. Before we get to the changes, apparently we're getting a Malevolence Galactic Chase.
Yeah. That's rubbish. That's absolute crap, that.
But okay, so here's the feats that apparently were bugged. Thermal exhaust are now properly unresistible when you throw thermal detonators in Conquest. Sector 1 boss fight now properly counts the number of stuns needed for completion. Defeating enemy summoned units now counts towards the grand victory in Conquest. Enemies defeated by post-transformation Papa Palps and Jedi Master Luke now properly count towards the grand victory feat in Conquest. I'm surprised that made it through. Updated the description of opportunistic support data disk to match its functionality. I don't even think I saw that one. I don't think that was one I paid attention to. Death Mark from Darth Revan's leader ability of Lord of the Sith now counts towards the Sector 5 feat marked for death. Who let that one through, Neil? Who let that one through? That would be one that I would be after straight away myself for that feat. Stun.
Yeah, but you'd only get 2 Death Mark off if you're lucky, and you need 10.
Yeah. Supreme Leader Kylo Ren's Stasis Strike allows counts for stunning tactics. Again, a galactic legend that you would use to get, and it wasn't counted. Wow. Fixed an issue that caused Geonosian Spy to gain turn meter from the data disk critical debuffs. That one I'm a little... I mean...
Sorry, say that one again.
Fixed an issue that caused Geo Spy to gain turn meter from the data disk critical debuffs. His kit says when they gain a debuff...
That is there's a data card, because I had it. All of my data cards were to either make my squad get a buff or get immunity from something and put debuffs on them. So I had 2 data cards. I had the caustic emissions to put DNT,
wonderful one.
burn, and I also had the one that puts critical chance down and crit damage down on my opponent as well. Although somebody told me if you've got crit damage and crit damage immunity, a crit damage down debuff on your opponent is kind of a moot point. I got into a big argument with someone over that. The data card that you have only stops it for the first 2 turns at the beginning of a match.
Right.
And that's why I was arguing. I would, this one, every time they take a turn, it makes it down. So yeah, sure, I've got immunity for the first 2 turns, but after those first 2 turns, I need that debuff.
Yep.
In order for my squads to survive. So I've got a written down list of all of the data cards that I had before that worked. So I'm going to be going for those same data cards.
Here's one that kind of sounds like a tip when they put it in there. The consumable initial frenzy tech now counts towards the Sector 3 feet relentless frenzy. That actually sounds like a tip.
Yeah, no, that one's in End All Beals. He says that if you get that, you'll clear it in one battle.
Yeah. And
if you buy that consumable, you can clear that feat in one go.
And the description of Conquest feat Wreak Havoc now matches its functionality. Now reads attempt to inflict 250 debuffs instead of inflict 250 debuffs. So now all you need to do is attempt. So
as opposed, so you don't need to get the debuffs and win. You just need to get the debuffs.
Well, I don't know about the win portion, but it does say attempt to inflict 250 debuffs. Cool.
Yeah, no. If you remember in Conquest 5, 6, and 7, so in Conquest 4, 5, and 6, the marked, you only had to mark. You didn't have to win the battle, because if you remember, I pointed you in the direction of the General Grievous match. You would let your General Grievous get below 50% stamina, and then you would put your Separatist droids in. Grievous would get pounded, and then he would put marked on one of the droids, and you'd just do that over and over. You didn't need to get the win. You just needed to repeat that battle maybe three or four times, and it would give you the 20 marks that you needed.
Yep. So, all right, let's take a quick break because we started a little bit late. We are running a little bit behind as well, but we swapped up things. So we're going to have Mikey Blue Eyes on first, and then Lazy Turtle will be at the top of the hour. Jack Lambo, thank you very much for following the stream and following the channel. We appreciate that. But yeah, we're going to take a break, and on the other side of this break will be Mikey Blue Eyes from Good Morning Korriban. Hope you guys will join us for that right here on the Escape Pod cast. HotUtils in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with additional features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or Territory Wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Podawans, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards including access to Shitty Bill's Arena tracking bot, after-show access, inclusion in the GA Center leaderboards, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is patreon.com/The Escape Pod, and sign up today. Thank you for supporting and listening to the Escape Podcast.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I approve this message and am compensated for signups for this service.
The world's largest audiobook library is at your fingertips, and the Escape Pod Castaways want you to try it for free. Head on over to escapepodcastaways.com and click the Going Nerdy offer button to claim a free audiobook and 2 Audible originals. Cancel anytime, and it's absolutely free to sign up. Check out Audible and support the Escape Podcastaways, all for free. See Audible website for details. Restrictions may apply.
Hey there, listeners. Merchandise specialist Critty K here. Do you enjoy the Escape Pod and want to support the channel and get something a little extra for yourself as well? Head on over to tpublic.com/user/theescapepodcast and grab a Team Neil, Team Paul, Critty Play, or many other fun Padawan designs on your choice of shirt, cup, sticker, mask, or even a magnet. And be sure to check out the Mrs. Anthony Shirts channel on the Escape Podcast Discord and get the latest info on the other designs I make as well. Sometimes there's even a sale going on, so it is smart to stop on by. Thank you for supporting the Escape Podcast.
We want you. Join the GAC Chain Gang today. This is the commander of the 506 Procrastination Battalion and the leader of the GAC Chain Gang. I am sending out a call to action for any SWGOH content creators on Twitch who would be willing to broadcast their GAC attack rounds alongside some of our best, including Mr. Jigabachi, Dr. Zeppers, Rico 1982, and the Bounty Honeys. What is the Chain Gang, you ask? We are an amazing group of content creators who are dedicated on streaming the Grand Arena Championship attack rounds on Twitch. The idea is to provide continuous content back-to-back from one streamer to the next and allow the viewers to enjoy more SWGOH content, as well as enjoy the variety of streamers that are currently present in the group. If you are interested in joining the Chain Gang, please reach out to myself on Discord at AndyBeads, #7465, or you can send us a message on our Twitter page at ChainGAC. Join us today. We have your back.
Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission.
And welcome back into the show, ladies and gentlemen. Our next guest is one half of the wonderful Star Wars podcast, Good Morning Korriban. They are an avid sports fan, and I think they tie me for the, biggest hockey fan in content creator world of Galaxy of Heroes. We always love the opportunity to sit down and talk to this guy about his love of the dark side. He is a true heir to the Sith throne. Without further ado, he actually has a very special message for all of you. I turn it over to him for that message. Padawans, I present to you Mikey Blue Eyes.
Morning, Korriban!
So, Zoom thought that you had, that it was background noise and filtered it out, but we got the end. We got the end.
I don't know how to, if we do it. You know what's funny is we basically have a recorded intro that is one that didn't tap out on the sound. I don't know what I do at the end there, but I'm apparently annoying to microphones as well. So, I don't know how else to handle that, but yeah, it happens on quite a regular basis. So, yeah.
Well, Mikey,
how you been, buddy? Everything's been good.
What's going on?
I'm just living the dream out here, as they say. One day at a time out here in Cali, buddy. It's been an interesting COVID ride, and I think last time we talked, there was no COVID. Was there COVID?
Yeah. It was last July, so we were in the middle of it.
Okay, it was. All right. Yeah, it's been a while, but all right. Yeah, it's been good, man. I'm back in coaching. Hockey seems to be opening back up again. So, I don't know who your favorite team is, but it probably wasn't the Lightning, I'm assuming.
No. My team used to be good. My team used to be good. I don't have my wallet. I'd show you I'm actually a card-carrying Red Wings fan.
Oh, so. There you go.
Don't tell your dad.
I won't. So my buddy I coached with was from Detroit, so we would always have major conversations about how good yours franchise was compared to my franchise.
So let's remind people where you come from. Of course, you host the show Good Morning Korriban, but let's talk about your account right now, and then we'll get into the show. And also, there was another story that we wanted to talk about as well.
Okay.
Where's your account at these days?
I'm sitting at about 7.45. Let me look up real quick. I didn't know you were going to ask this right off the bat. I wasn't ready for you. So let me hear.
Well, you probably know how many GLs you have.
Yes, I have everyone. I have everyone but the new Lord Vader, and I don't have. I probably will never get GL Luke. I have the other 3, 4.
Wait a minute. You're the Dark Lord of the Sith on the podcast, but you don't have Vader?
No, I had not. So this is the story behind this. As my biggest gripe with the whole last 2 GL release is that I wish they would have just released them at the same time. And that seems to be, to me, one of the major things they messed up on, because I've always been able to get the Dark Side GL. And, my issue was I had people close, I guess, to the GL Kenobi. And at the end of the day, I was like, everyone's, GL Kenobi's like just a monster. Then they did a rework on him recently that apparently makes him even more of a monster. So now Kylo teams, like basically the only team that I was told that can beat him now is pretty much Luke, GL wise. So, I went for GL Kenobi just because I thought it was a necessity, and that was the first. And then I had Rey because there was nobody else, but my Rey's still not ultimated. So it's just like I made this whole mess of not, understanding that the next GLs were not going to be released at the same time. And I don't know what you guys think about that, but to me, that is the major thing. It's like, why would you release them staggered? Like, what doesn't the first time, like, to make more money? I don't know. There's a lot of conspiracy theories out there.
They release them one at a time.
Yep.
They're gonna, all future ones will be released one at a time, and then they know that the whales and the krakens will go for them, because they're making. Think about it. If you make the requirements infinitely steeper, right, it's the same amount of relic level requirements to get both Rey and Kylo for Lord Vader and GK, roughly. It's not that far off. So the same amount of resources to get 2 GLs, the 2 earliest GLs, is the same for either one of the 2 latest GLs.
Yep.
So they're still getting the same amount of money because they've increased the requirements. If they released both GK and Lord Vader at the same time, the people that bought them both by staggering them might not necessarily have bought them, spent the money on them.
Exactly. And I'm at 7.38, by the way. I'm almost 7.4 for that. To answer that question, I never answered.
You and I may get matched up then. I'm at 7.25.
Oh, okay. So we're okay. So you've been going, and I've been in some like dark areas with this game recently. Like, and then they did the whole thing with Maul, and they changed the requirements for that. And then the whole Ahsoka giving us less for Ahsoka, the last Conquest.
Well, how'd you do this last one?
For personal reasons, I did not do as well. There are some things I have been going through in my life that I didn't really have time to do them. But I was doing okay with it. But I had friends of mine like Sturm and some of these higher end guys like Schwinn, one of the big guys who plays for the Wolves team or Wolves, whatever it is. I don't even think he was able to get him, and he's got an 8-something account. He's like, he's crushing it, right? So I think he unlocked Lord Vader on day 1. So, like he wasn't even able to get, I think, Max.
The red box. Wow.
Yeah, I can't remember his reasoning. He was on the Discord and he mentioned it in passing, but yeah, I was doing okay. I actually had some of the teams that might have been able to get it. I might have been able to make a push for it, but yeah, Sturm was 2 away and most people were 1 away at least. So yeah, I was 3, I think. I ended up 3. But I didn't even get to finish the whole thing. Like I beat Maul, and then I faded off into the sunset on the last tier there.
So, I think I got a few battles into Sector 5, and it was like,
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't. Like I said, I had some personal reasons, like some serious personal reasons. So I didn't get a chance to. Like we actually didn't do. It was the first week ever that we skipped a week of the podcast. So that was the first time that ever happened in 69 episodes. So So it was a rough week, but and then some of the requirements for this guy, like I don't know, like I actually had my Bad Batch ready to go because I heard a lot of rumors, but just that, like I think there's a Relic 8 tune, like the ARC Trooper Relic 8, like come on, man, like and if you got enough to get Kenobi, like you got nothing left when it comes to all the Relic materials. Like you're basically using all your Relic materials to get one, and then they release the other one. And much like Nev said, like it's just like you're not gonna, what? Come on, man.
Well,
like,
I am working on the Bad Batch right now, and not for Lord Vader, for me.
Yeah. you like So do you like the series? Were you a big series fan?
It's not more about the series. It's I want to free up. I want to see how they do with Reek.
Okay.
I want to free up the 501st clones. I want to see how the Bad Batch will do once Omega and everybody's ready to go. I want to see it, man. It should be fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I think the thing that kills me the most is that BY-wing Starfighter or whatever. I don't even have that one 7-star. I'm working on. I'm almost got 7 stars.
Well, you know me. I'm the ship guy. I love my ship.
Yeah, you love shit. Yeah, and I'm dark side, and I made a decision to go for Vader instead of the Executor or whatever it is. The Executioner. What that's called? I think it's Executor. The ship. The new ship they got.
The Executor. Yeah.
Executor. Yes. Okay. So I have not even attempted for that. Sturm got that. I think Sturm's working on Vader too. I mean, it's just, and it's just like Sturm's a huge First Order guy, and he's doing his whole, my First Order team with who is it? The Zombie and the other one. He's got some weird team that could beat
Acolyte.
Yes,
Zombie, Acolyte, and Slacker.
Yeah, and that he was using that to beat these Kenobi teams, and since the rework, he's like, I can't even beat him. Like, you can't, like, I have Luke, he said, because he has Luke, but he said other than that, like, because it pisses me off because he's a huge First Order guy.
Yeah,
he rage quit. He rage quit last time because First Order couldn't beat Revan. So I don't know.
Can he beat? I mean, just recently, my Executor got 2-tapped with a Finalizer cleanup. Is he able, with his Finalizer maxed out like it is he beating the Executor, or did he have to bend the knee?
He's never shown it on the podcast, but I believe he says he can beat it with it. He says it's really good on offense, but I think when it comes to defense, like, there's some weird Rebel combination of ships that I don't have that I think can beat that new ship's combo, right? From what I understand, there's some fish face guy. What's his name? I'm so bad with names. The guy. It's a trap. Yes, thank you, sir. That's the one that, like, I think there's some kind of rebel some kind of rebel team.
There's a rebel fleet with a Finalizer cleanup is how I was defeated just this past GAC, as I mentioned.
Yeah, so that's the one that seems. But yeah, I think Sturm said he can do it. I think he said he can do it. I want him to show me it, and us on the podcast is a mess because we're always going off on tangents and rants and talking about Star Wars shows, and we went into the whole the new rework for KOTOR. They came out with that. Like, is it gonna be a new game? Is it gonna be just better graphics? We got into that a little bit. So we kind of try to cover everything Star Wars. So yeah. You guys heard about that, right?
Oh yes. Nev's excited because it'll be on PC.
Oh yes.
I was excited. I'm not as excited.
Because it's not brand new, because it's just a rework, or what?
No. I'm not as excited because of the. It's a bit like my concern is the writing for the story. The person that BioWare have employed to write the story is inexperienced, and it needs an experienced writer. I made the same argument for Bryce Dallas Howard regarding directing Star Wars. My argument is, if she does lots and lots of episodes over different series for like 3-4 years, then boom, she's going to be ready to do an entire series herself.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same situation with the writer for the rework of the game, they've hired someone with little to no experience whatsoever. And I think that when you're dealing with a franchise as big as KOTOR, that, you know, it needs someone with experience and gravitas, and BioWare have hired, you know, a writer that does not have the prerequisite level of experience.
Mary J's asking for your source on that, Neil.
Yeah, because I was what I've read thus far is that it's a remake of some of the original content for the game with better graphics, with maybe some add-ons. You're saying they're writing
if it's a straightforward rewrite, then there's very little writing. You just keep the same story,
which is kind of that's why I thought it. I don't know. You heard something else, right? I'm curious now.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious as well because
I can see them adding on like content with new planets, maybe, or like expanding. Because like I can't remember specifically. We were talking about this in the podcast, and there's a couple times where they mention other scenes for other things that have happened in like OR lore and even in the MMO game. So I mean that maybe they'll run with that and make it a whole new graphics thing. But I was told it was just a remake with better graphics.
That's what I'm hoping for. That it is just a flat remake and not a re-envisioning.
Yeah,
you know, like they, you know, for example, with
Mass Effect is like, well, my concept is with the graphics that they have for Mass Effect, if you could do like an open world type of travel, you know, like I didn't really like the last one, the Andromeda or whatever it was, the one that they had on the most recent one. That one was okay, but the original 3 Mass Effects that was also BioWare, that to me is like, that would nail it home wise with graphics and like open world travel and just the way that they would do that type of, if it's BioWare, right? Because BioWare did Mass Effect, so that would nail it.
Because the thing with KOTOR is, when we say we don't mean so all of the video cutaways, all of the video scenes, the cutaways that are in the story,
right?
They don't. It's not like that. We want better graphics and carbon copies, you know. So
right.
But,
You don't have to be,
but something similar, you know. They can make it more cinematic. They can make it more thematic. They can make it with better backgrounds, smoother graphics,
more side quests.
Exactly. So it's subtle changes. So if there's like for example the scene, you know, scenes that have got like Bastilla and other characters in it, and you're seeing that jerky movement on like
we just need Urs to voice those.
It's gonna, you know, hopefully they just kind of like expand on it and make it look, you know, make that storyline look better, because. Here's the thing, people that have played it are going to play it again anyway, and people that haven't played it are going to play the new one think, wow, this looks awesome.
Right.
Whereas fans that have already played it are going to play it knowing what the story is, but appreciating the better look, the
wanting something deep down inside, wanting something a little bit more. So like, I'm a big Final Fantasy guy. So you remember when they remade Final Fantasy 12?
Yes.
You guys play Final Fantasy?
It. No, not a Final Fantasy. I mean, I'm a Final Fantasy 1, 2, and 3 fan.
Okay, so they
remade 3, technically 6.
Right. But so, for 12, because I started with 7. That's kind of like when I joined the military. I had a buddy that was in the Marine Corps with me, and he got me playing them because I was like, what the hell is Final Fantasy? I was always just sports and this and that. And he got me kind of addicted to 7. And then I followed it after that. But when 12 came out, like 12 changed the whole game for me, because I loved the way that the sequencing was 12, because it was like the first active RPG kind of thing where you could like actively play things on the screen. And then when they did a remake of it and they came out with it, I bought it on the Switch, and it was awesome because they better graphics, right? The storyline was decent, but that, you know, the thing that got me was the gameplay, like all the side quests it had. So basically, when they redid it, they added a few things, right, with the better graphics, with some of the characters you can get. I forget what they call them, the Eldalons, where the hell they are. What are the things you can get that make you once again, terrible with names. Anyway,
I'm trying to remember. It's like materia from 7, but yes.
Yeah, it's like they were like some kind of gods that came out and they just whooped on things, and it was really cool. And you had to go unlock them, and they're really hard through all these dungeons and all this and that. So like to me, if it was like 12 where they add some stuff, some dungeons and a couple of things and didn't really mess with it, I mean, that would work for me. I mean, in my head as a theorist, and the fact that like I love Star Wars and I write things and this and that, like I have a whole new third one you could make that would just rock socks and just kick ass. But you know, I was big into gaming back in the day, so I do that with you know, I all these games I like to play, you know, like Oblivion type of scene with Mass Effect travel, boom, done.
Yeah, no, the thing with here's the thing with the with if they do a really good cinematic remake of KOTOR and it sells 10 million plus copies, Disney are going to look at something like that and think,
yeah,
couldn't we make a movie or an animated show about
well,
this?
Their series is coming, right?
If 10 million people, but either a movie or an animated show specifically doing the story of the game.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right, specifically the story of the game. And if 10 million people are buying and playing the game, hopefully the bean counters at Disney look at that and go, that's 10 million people that are guaranteed to either watch the show or watch the movie. And if we put it on Disney Plus, then a lot more people are gonna, you know, so if they can make it the story, if they keep the story the same, but make it just look, you know, Oscar nominated cinematography, with graphics,
like Keanu Reeves, like everybody wants, and you know.
Yeah. With a remake for KOTOR coming out, does this mean that they will finally acknowledge the canon of Revan?
Well, okay, so
he's already canon.
Well,
well, technically he is, but like, so on Nev's, I'm running with Nev playing devil's advocate because the first thing that popped in my head when he said how they're going to make a series, there is a mention of Bane, and you see Darth Bane in the Clone Wars, right? When Yoda goes and visits the temple. Do you remember
right.
That? He goes to the temple.
Right. We get that, but
it made me really nervous because the Bane that they showed in that series was this weak, meager, old-looking Darth Bane, and it was like in the books, Bane is more than 2 meters tall. He's built like a brick house. Like he's worked in the mines his whole life as a slave. Like he is a bad dude. Like he's humongous. So I'm thinking like that's what makes me nervous about what you're saying, Nev, is like they can screw this up and make it something that's not technically what OR and even KOTOR is, right? Because, you know, KOTOR gets pretty dark in certain areas, and you know, Disney with Star Wars for some reason doesn't want to show that's with the whole movies. Sturman, I don't know if you heard us, but that's my biggest gripe with the movies is, you know, for Rey, the character, she doesn't go through enough, you know, to really
that we saw
you in. Yeah, well, I mean, they mentioned stuff, but you guys see it. You guys like the books that they have that take place along the same timeline, which is Legacy of the Force, I think it's called. It's like 8, 9 something books. It's got a Darth Caedius who's the kind of Kylo, and it's got the other girl who's kind of like Rey, and Luke's got a kid, and Luke marries the girl from The Choices of One. What's her name?
Mara Jade.
Mara Jade.
Thank you. And they're married. They have a kid. You know, cousin towards them, like not the real whole storyline, but like it goes into that whole thing. If you just did it off of those books, dude, could you imagine what the movies like? They just
that's what Nev wants.
I wanted the Yuuzhan Vong Chronicles before I wanted the Legacy of the Force.
There you
go. Yeah, because you're the comic guy. You're the books. So books to you.
I'm the
he's all Nev is all of you.
Yeah. So the books I just mentioned are like books. Like, and I forgot you're thinking comics.
No. Neil loves all the EU books.
I do the comics, books, and graphic novels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which did you like the KOTOR graphic novels? I felt some of them were okay and some of them were kind of lacking. I don't know.
Yeah, they're not too bad. I would have preferred I would have preferred Bisley or maybe a Liam Sharp to do the penciling.
Okay.
One of the thing with comics and graphic novels is if you get yes, the two things are important regarding comics and graphic novels: the story and the person who does the penciling, the person who does the artwork.
Dude, like
if the artwork doesn't grab you, then the story can be great. But if the artwork doesn't really, really grab you, then you kind of like meh. And exactly the same on the flip side. If the story isn't great, but the drawing, the penciling is absolutely incredible. That too can, so they both need to marry pretty well. And
couldn't agree
if
more.
one is out of sync with the other, then you it's not that it's bad, but you kind of look at it and go, yeah, that's all right. It's not amazing.
That's what
it's all right.
That's what got me to stop reading Batman books, is because they, after Nightfall, and I was in the military at the time, so I tried to keep up, but like they changed it to some new artist, and that was when the death of Superman happened, and Superman had like long hair, and they changed the graphic arts. I like it more like where you show the body structure more. I'm not as much of a fan of the blocky type of kid structure. Like I like more of that, like, you're showing the muscles, you're showing the movements, like everything's kind of more like,
I mean, I'll give you an example from Star Wars Tales. Back from Star Wars Tales from 1999 to 2000. In volume 1, there was a Star Wars tale with Mara Jade. The story in the comic was written by Timothy Zahn.
Oh, nice. Oh, wow.
But the penciling, the artwork for the story wasn't amazing. The story was good. It was just it was a short story involving Mara Jade, and she's, the Empire's gone, but she feels the need to go after people that were traitors to the Empire,
right.
And she's hunting someone.
Man, that's what she's doing.
She's hunting someone, and she cuts a deal with Crix Maydeen in this story. It's like, let me go and I will deal with this guy that you're looking for, but in my way, and you don't need to worry about it, and you can keep all of the money, that because he basically was an embezzler. So Mara Jade basically executes this ex-Imperial guy that embezzled loads and loads of money from the Empire, and then she calls up Crix Maydeen and says, oh, I've dealt with that little problem, come to this location and you can have all of the money. And then she just disappears off into the ether, because that's what that's kind of the thing that she did for a short period of time. That's how that's how she was written. So she was still getting some really good writing post the destruction of the Death Star and the death of Vader and Palpatine.
Well, Zahn wrote that series too, right? He wrote the Thrawn series as well, did he not? Is that what?
Heir to the Empire.
He does all the Thrawn stuff.
Yeah. Well, he's a great writer. So that's, I didn't even know. I'll have to look that one up. But like, that to have him write something and then don't have an artist to back it up, that sucks, because he's such a good writer. Yeah. Like I love the way he writes, like the way he writes his book. And I just, it just sucks that happens, right? Like Star Wars.
Good writing is important, but it's also just as equally important that the visual is there as well.
Before we run out of time, one of the things I did want to talk to you about as well, both of our communities, unfortunately, lost a very, very dear member of our community. When Run DMV quit the game for the final time. How did that hit you? How, in both in the community and in the guild? I mean,
the guild has struggled since, and like I said, the last couple of weeks is solely on me for all our guild members that we lost Darth Cascade and some people that, I can't, she was amazing for the guild, and she didn't like a couple of things that I had done with booting people. We had a little issue with tickets, but like Run Junior was just like, he started the guild, podcast guild, and like as a person, because I met him a couple times from where he's from when I was coaching. I was up there and we hung out a little bit, and he's just a great guy, like another huge hockey fan. And just as a human being, you probably couldn't meet a better human. Like we still talk. He's gone, Discord gone too, right? Like he's pretty much off.
He's pretty much off. Every once in a while he'll pop on and just look around.
Unless you have his text message, you're not getting a hold of him. Like just what he does for work, like his artistry. Like I don't know if you've ever seen him draw, but he's an amazing artist, and like just like he's just a good human being. Like we find plenty of things to talk about other than that. But like he needed to dedicate his life, to his family a little more and his kids, and how you're going to disrespect somebody for like trying to better their life instead of playing a mobile game that's been around for 10 years, right? Like, I mean,
yeah, what?
Yeah, it hurt, man. Like, I remember when you said, I begged him, I tried all my mental, like, man, what can I get to get this dude to stay? Because he's like the one dude I don't want to leave, right? And it's just, yeah, so I don't know, it was tough.
Well, you said the guild has struggled. I mean, where does one go from here? Because Run was in our guild as well in Yevon 4.
Yeah.
And
what I've noticed is, not to cut you off too much, but like, just when, like, it's the game's been around for so long that there's so many established guilds that like we hit 100 million, and we were always playing with the 100 million, and once I hit like 110, I was like, oh, we're rolling, and there's some things going on in the background that we're trying to, there's always something going on in the background, but like, I'm trying to pull all these guys I've known, that I've played with, that have been around since the inception of this game, and they're just like, they're so enamored with the guild thing, and I couldn't pull enough of them, so then it just kind of all started falling apart. And Cascade was another one. Like, once she left, which was recent, that kind of hurt, and then we lost like maybe 3 or 4. So, but there's a place called Sigma Nation, which is a great.
Did you end up in Sigma?
We end up in Sigma Nation. They're helping me out a little bit with some of the recruiting and whatnot. And like I said, it's just hard because some of these players want to be in bigger guilds than they're really ready for. And when we hit 100 million, it was starting to pick up. And then like when and we're winning, we haven't lost a territory war yet. Like, we got some good stats, right? But it's just hard, man. It's just so hard to have all these established guilds that kind of just they don't have to work for it, right? They can do whatever they want. And I was part of that, and I want to do something cool for the podcast, and I thought maybe I could bring people together, but then the business of the game comes in, and if you spend enough and you do enough in a game, you want to make sure that you get the best rewards. And people aren't willing to take that risk. So we'll see. I mean, we're building again. I think we're back over 60 million now, but we couldn't do the last TW. We didn't have enough people. So,
but you're trying.
Yeah, it's just, we're trying. I don't ever give up. And I already told myself, like, I'm doing this, like, whatever I just gotta do, however slow this build is. We got another guy named Wrangler who's a YouTuber.
Yeah, we know Wrangler.
I was gonna say, Neil, do we know Wrangler?
Yeah,
we know.
So Wrangler. he's in the guild. We just promoted him to an officer. He's our TW guy now, and great guy. I'm gonna try to get him on our podcast. But, he's a really cool guy, always down to help. And I'm surprised he didn't leave. So if he ends up watching this, thanks for not leaving, buddy. And it's just, you gotta find those 2-3 people. Like a Savvy's another one that's helping out a lot. So it's like those guys are there. And
the reason I wanted to bring it up is I wanted to kind of show an example that you're not alone if you're having guild troubles.
Oh no.
Even people that have amazing accounts and are an amazing community like Good Morning Korriban are also having guild troubles. So don't give up. That's what I want to say. Unless you are dead set that you're leaving the game, don't give up, and give maybe a change of scenery is what you need.
Right. And and there's always people wanting to move. So, it's just find those people who are willing to stay for the rebuild. And what we're good at, since we have the people who have been playing long enough, is we're good at helping you. Hey, don't waste your time on this guy. Get this guy, right? Like,
I keep trying to tell my wife that she's 2 months she's been playing now.
Yeah. Well, and it's hard because you want your favorites and then you want what works. So it's it's like there's definitely ones that I wailed on dark side wise, and that I just like. Speaking of which, this new mall, what's going on with that? Like, are you guys a little bit perturbed at the fact that this dude's going to be twice as hard to get, and the fact that, like, I don't know, I just to touch on that, like, is that taking anyone else off other than me?
That combined with the fact, and unfortunately we're running out of time because I know you got to pick up your kids. But that combined with the fact that anything from here on out needs to be at the same level as Mall for any Conquest characters, and Conquest needs to, unless they make Conquest easier, and then that's just going to be a slap in the face to anybody that tried really hard for Maul.
Yeah. Well, my OR is ready. I have all my OR relicked. Even Vicious Mars is relicked. At least relic 4, I think. So I'm ready. I don't know if you know this because we haven't talked since July or whatever, but like another reason I fell behind on some of these GLs is during the time that they dropped all the Mandos, which don't get me started on that because I have them relic as well. Wasted resources on that. But I relicked all my ORs because it was right around that April timeframe. It was right around the time they dropped like Revan and Malik, and it's just been kind of statistically when they do that. And it was like, no, Mando's out, they're never gonna do it. And I'm like, that's what they did last time. That's what made Sturm quit. Everybody wailed on Revan. It was one of the highest spending times in the whole game. And you know, I didn't wail, but all my attention was to that because I was just expecting that to happen, and it never happened. So I wasted a ton of resources on that.
Yeah. All right, Neil. Any final questions before I have?
We're all good to go.
All right, Mikey, pimp your show. Tell people how to find you.
We are on all major podcasts from anywhere from Google to Apple. We record through Anchor, so if you want to use that, that's also a free app to use. We are now on YouTube, so you can check us out on YouTube. Follow. It's always under Good Morning Korriban or Good Morning Korriban podcast. We're on Discord. We got one of the best Discords in the game. And we also have our own guild. It's called GMK Lost Tribe. So if you're one of those people that needs to change, like Paul was talking about, just hit us up, and you know we're willing to help you guys. And you know we're looking for good players that enjoy the game. So
all right,
you guys for having me again. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you so much, Mikey. Appreciate you, man. And good night, Korriban. We'll see you. Hopefully, it won't be another 9 months. Would love to talk to you before then again. But stick around. Coming up after the break and story time with Uncle Thad is Lazy Turtle. We talk about leaving the game, what he's doing, and what might even bring him back right here on the Escape Podcast. HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most common
tools for Tool Grand Ivory. HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with additional features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or territory wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Podcast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Podawans, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards including access to Shitty Bill's Arena Tracking Bot, after-show access, inclusion in the GA Center leaderboards, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is patreon.com/The Escape Pod, and sign up today. Thank you for supporting and listening to the Escape Podcast.
The Escape Pod, cast for kids. It's really cool.
Hello there, Podawans, and welcome back to another episode of Storytime with Uncle Thad. Today is a special episode because today we are going on a space field trip. That's right, my friends. Today's Storytime takes us to the snowy plains of Hoth, where we are going to learn about the mighty Wampa and where his kit fits into the Star Wars canon. The Wampa kind of gets a bad rap, Most people only recognize the Wampa as this Yeti beast who tried to eat Luke Skywalker. But there's more to the Wampa than just a murderous eating machine. While, yes, the Wampa is one of Hoth's predominant predators, it didn't always used to be that way. There was a time when the Wampa was a civilized, near-sentient being. It typically only killed when it needed to feed, or when it wanted to use the hide of its prey as a throw rug or living room centerpiece. What most people never realized about the Wampa was that this noble creature was noble until the introduction of the Tauntaun to the ice planet. Before the invasion of these animals to Hoth, the Wampa was an industrious creature. It farmed Hoth's fertile fields, cultivated colonies of creativity and caring, and was even beginning to develop their very own aeronautical transport. During the rise of the High Republic, which we can all agree was a dark time for most people, pirates decided to use Hoth as a breeding ground to create counterfeit blue milk. Instead of using the traditional herd of Nerf, these pirates acquired their milk from the Tauntaun. Pirates and smugglers who were trying to go straight brought herd after herd of the Tauntaun to Hoth. Even though fresh Tauntaun milk is delicious to most sentient species, eating Tauntaun meat can cause other species to go into fits of murderous rage. And the Tauntaun meat is like the worst kind of meth for a Wampa. And what these ambitious pirates failed to understand about the Tauntaun milk is that it can only be harvested from animals during specific times of the year. During the remainder of the year, the Tauntaun herds multiplied like drunk bunnies listening to Marvin Gaye music. Sorry, Space Marvin Gaye music. During the off-season, when pirates weren't milking their herd, Wampas were trying to prevent these animals from ruining their crops, pooping in their yards, and being a general nuisance to the gentle giants of Hoth. It only took one Wampa to eat one Tauntaun to change the creature's entire ecosystem. After the first bite, Wampas were no longer content with farming. They needed the meat, and they needed a lot of it. It was this kind of Wampa who originally attacked Luke Skywalker, not in an attempt to hurt the young human, far from it. The Wampa was driven mad by an insatiable hunger to consume more Tauntaun flesh. And now that you know the tragic story of the Wampa in the greater Star Wars canon, let's take a look at their kit and see how they're represented in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. The Wampa's basic ability is a representation of a Wampa at their healthiest, before tasting of Tauntaun flesh. This generally gentle giant had, out of necessity, a need to be incredibly strong, and when these creatures were not operating under the influence of the meat, they grew stronger still. The Icebreaker ability is one of the highlights of these animals' natural toughness and strength. The Wampa spent most of its time in the ice caves and caverns. Their hide was so thick that it could withstand falling ice stalactites and falling ice stalagmites. This is also why Wampa coats, belts, and boots sell for such high prices on the galactic black market. The Furious Foe ability highlights the sound that the Wampa makes shortly after its first bite of a Tauntaun, and while it gains a great deal of strength, the strength only lasts for a short while, like 2 rounds. The Wampa's first unique ability is a bit of an odd one. Most unique abilities in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes are based on the character in question. This ability is actually based off the howls and screams of the intergalactic chapter of PETA, which is People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. This group has sent wave after wave of volunteers to Hoth to protect the Wampa. Now, in the past, only a small handful of volunteers were needed for an assignment like this, but these volunteers have a tendency to be eaten by the very animal they were sent to protect. Now, Cornered Beast, the Wampa's final unique ability, is kind of an obvious one. You never want to corner an animal, especially not one who's all hopped up on Tauntaun meth meat. That's just asking for trouble. Well, that's it for me this week. Stay tuned next week for more story time with Uncle Thad on the Escape Podcast for Kids. Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I approve this message and am compensated for signups for this service.
The world's largest audiobook library is at your fingertips, and the Escape Pod Castaways want you to try it for free. Head on over to escapepodcastaways.com and click the Going Nerdy offer button to claim a free audiobook and 2 Audible originals. Cancel anytime, and it's absolutely free to sign up. Check out Audible and support the Escape Pod Castaways, all for free. See Audible website for details. Restrictions may apply.
Hey there, listeners. Merchandise specialist Critty K here. Do you enjoy the Escape Pod and want to support the channel and get something a little extra for yourself as well? Head on over to tpublic.com/user/theescapepodcast and grab a Team Neil, Team Paul, Critty Play, or many other fun Padawan designs on your choice of shirt, cup, sticker, mask, or even a magnet. And be sure to check out the Mrs. Anthony Shirts channel on the Escape Podcast Discord and get the latest info on the other designs I make as well. Sometimes there's even a sale going on, so it is smart to stop on by. Thank you for supporting the Escape Pod cast.
Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission.
And welcome back to the Escape Podcast. Now, Neil, I picked up Mikey Blue Eyes, so I'm going to make you do the intro for the Lazy Turtle. Why don't you be the MC this time around?
You know I'm terrible at being an MC. Lazy Turtle, former Tepsi content creator guru and former Chain Gang member and former GAC league player, but he still does, he hasn't, you haven't totally quit the game, have you?
It's more total than not. I have deleted the game off my phone.
Yeah.
But I will still do streams for people with cam.
Yeah,
so, yes,
exactly. That's what I mean. So you've quit your game,
yes,
but you haven't quit the game.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I'm still helping my guild recruit because now I don't have to play the game, so might as well.
Hey, yeah, go.
Yeah, because you've got
a
couple guys playing your account, haven't you?
Yeah, a couple people playing it.
So your guild still maintains the advantage of your account being in it, but other people play it.
Yes. And it definitely was
What are you
weird.
talking about? He still plays his account.
Oh yeah, I'm still playing, guys.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more.
It definitely felt weird deleting the game off my phone. It had been there for 5 years, and I was like, dude, it's been in the same spot on my phone the whole time.
Is it on the whole? So iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
So is it like me?
Mine's on the home screen.
Is it on the? Is yours actually in the always bar?
No, so it wasn't that. But it was literally one spot up from that. So
bottom right.
All the app rows, bottom right corner, just not on the always bar.
I always kept mine on the always bar.
So as close to it as I could get without being too addicted. But yeah, it felt weird deleting it. I even took a screen recording of me deleting it, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, no, I saw it. I saw that. I was
like, that's a moment.
You posted it on the GACN server, and everyone's like, oh no.
All right. So here's the big question. Why?
All right. So it comes down to all the requirements for Vader, all the requirements for Executor. It's not like it was a task on me because I have a 7.9 mil account. So it just takes more time of getting first in arenas and just more grinding and more grinding. But then I saw how many Relic 8s there were, and I was like, are you kidding me? And I know that Relic 8 is the next big thing, and it's for the power creep, it makes sense, but it's just like another extra task and another thing to wail on if I want to get things day one. And like, I wailed on Bad Batch. I enjoyed wailing on Bad Batch. It was expensive as hell, but it was a very fun team for me to get to play with. And then they didn't come out with a fifth character.
Maybe you can teach me how to use it in Cam.
Oh, I definitely can.
Nice. Okay, but anyway, go ahead.
But like, I wailed on Bad Batch, and it was great. I got him straight to Relic 7, and it took a lot of resources, took a lot of money, and I was like, all right, who's the fifth character going to be? And then they just didn't release anybody, and I was confused as to why. And the next thing I know, like, what, a month and a half, 2 months later, they get Omega. And I was like, all right, I don't want to wail on her. And that was the first time I was like, all right, if I'm wailing on a team, I'm just going to wail anyways. But now I'm like, I don't want to wail on this character. They're not that, like, they just didn't seem worth it to me.
They didn't complete the team like you thought they would?
Exactly. And I was like, all right, that's kind of a weird moment for me. And then next thing I know, I'm like just doing my normal grinds, and I was like kind of struggling. I mean, I also have life stuff. I recently got a girlfriend, and I've been trying to look for a job. I graduated back in May.
Congrats.
Thank you. So like just all this added up, and I'm like, am I having fun or am I just doing it? And then I kind of took a step back from leadership. I was still a leader in the game, but I was like, all right, guys, I need you guys to take like all the stuff that I do just for now. I'm going to see if I can like take a step back and still enjoy the game. And then I was realizing that I was doing so little, I almost couldn't get my tickets in every day. And then I stopped like grinding up to first, and I was just like, what am I doing? Am I playing, or am I just like helping my guild at this point? And so that's why I decided to just call it.
What was the initial reaction? Were there, so one would obviously see people that are like, no, please don't go. But was there anybody that was like, all right, I get it, and happy up, as Ray Rock likes to say?
Yeah, so about everyone in my guild and communities has been like, I mean, no, don't go, but like almost everyone was happy for me. Especially the ones that like know my real life stuff going on. They're all happy for me, and they're like, sad to see you go. Keep in touch kind of thing. And I mean, I'm still always on Discord. I'm always around.
You're still around.
So I'm definitely not like gone, but as for my playing time, it's pretty much gone. It would take a serious retraction in the power creep for me to come back.
Okay, so there is a way.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be like Vader is just the OP character, and then nothing that comes out requires as much or is stronger kind of thing.
But still counterable. And that was the other thing. When they made all the nerfs to all the other non-GLs, I was like, well, what's the point for people without GLs? There's a guy in my guild. Now, we only just found this out, but he has 0 GLs. He's a 7 mil GP account with 0 GLs.
Oh, wow.
We were like, what? How? But he was never an issue. He never like missed tickets. He always did all this stuff. He was always growing his account. He just didn't care about the Galactic Legends. And he still got like top 50 in arena, and we don't care about your arena average. And he got cam, he did everything else. I just was shocked to see that he had 0 GLs. But like his account in TW is now worth so little if we see like 3 GL walls, 4 GL walls or more. Because it's a lot harder to kill him without GLs.
Unless they put that Basti lead down.
Exactly.
Which, by the way, for those who don't know behind the scenes, Lazy Turtle and I were always trying to get matched up. We always were encouraging each other. He was one of the first people there when I actually finally hit Kyber. He was watching.
It was a good moment.
But you know, I do want to publicly thank you for saving me, but and you ended up offing yourself in a way.
You know, that's how life goes. A soul for a soul.
Neil, what you got for old Lazy?
So obviously, like you said, the work thing, the girlfriend thing, you see yourself replacing SWGOH with something that can be played more casually. Maybe the new Hunters game that's coming up. You find yourself, because obviously that you've got into the habit of playing something on your phone.
Yeah.
For the last 5 years, over and over and over again. And I get the stress and the intensity of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, but is there something else on the horizon, maybe something a little bit more basic that you'll play in the background?
So the short answer is yes. The long answer is I don't know which game yet.
Are you streaming still?
I haven't in a while. I'm going to get back to it, but not until I have a job. I mean, I currently work 40 hours a week, just not like a career. It's just a minimum wage job.
It's a job. Yeah, it's just a job.
It's just a job. It's not a career.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's anything that's not spent towards getting a job feels like wasting my time. As much as that is weird to say, because like I'm still enjoying life. I'm still like hanging out with friends. Sometimes it just feels like a waste of time if I'm not applying for more jobs and constantly searching. But I've picked up, so Hearthstone has been one of those games that's always been on my phone for even longer than Star Wars. And I'll just go play a match or two and then like not play it for a month, a year, whatever. And then I'll come back to it. I was playing a little bit right when I first deleted Star Wars, but then I kind of just realized that I'm like just getting addicted to my phone again. And I don't know, it feels good to not be staring at my phone. So my screen time back in like the super intense, like LSTB days was averaging about 9 or 10 hours a day on my phone. And this past week, I got down to 3.5 hours on my phone a day. And that's like a huge swing. And most of that time on my phone is while at work on my breaks. And I'm just like scrolling through TikTok or at nighttime on my phone, just like trying to fall asleep, just like garbage time kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so I don't think I'd get under that time, but it feels good to like not be staring at it.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you are looking forward to? In the world of games that might pull you in to become streamer full time.
I'm really excited for KOTOR to be remastered. I hope that also the new Star Wars Lego game looks super fun.
Well, you know me. I've been on Vault 37 Studios. I'm playing all the games back to back. After I eat lunch, we're continuing the Clone Wars on Vault 37 Studios. So yeah.
Yes. I mean, it's a lot of games like that. Like, but I also just like playing casually with friends. Like last night, I was on Mudbum's stream. He did a 25-hour stream, and so he's probably knocked out right now. That ended at like 5 a.m. this morning Pacific time. But yeah, so he was just playing a whole bunch of different games, and I was on his stream just playing golf with friends, and so doing different things like that, I feel like would bring me back into streaming again. But I definitely have to find the games that I enjoy and then streaming them. But even gaming in general has been like reduced because of looking for jobs. So it's like all this coming down to finding a career.
Totally understand. So I mean that was kind of in a way the what's coming up in the future for you. When you do, is there any other questions? Because we're coming up on the bottom of the hour. Do you have any other questions, Neil?
No, we're good to go, mate.
All right. So I've got one more question here. You mentioned the reverse of the power creep, if you will.
Yeah.
Is there any character or any feature that instead of that would bring you back to the game to experience the fun of it, and why is it Hondo?
I really do love Hondo. He's a great character. He's super fun. Honestly though, most of my favorite characters are in the game. I really love Cad Bane. I might be one of the only ones, but I really love Cad Bane.
No, mine's Relic 7. So
nice. Han has always been one of my favorites. And beyond that, just like a better Mace Windu would help. But all of my favorites.
I thought we got Lazy Turtle, not Ram Bam.
Ram Bam will appreciate that for sure. But yeah, like, I don't know. Most of my favorite characters are in the game already. And I think it'd be cool to see Hondo. I think it'd be cool to see the specific Kenobi that was in the Clone Wars show that was like doing the bounty hunter stuff. I think he would be really cool in the game, but that's such a niche Kenobi that I doubt that would happen. Yeah, I really love bounty hunters, but most of them are in the game that are fun to use and fun to look at. So I really don't think there's any character that isn't already here
that would pull you back in.
That would just bring me back in.
All right. Well, so when you do get back to streaming, how do people find you?
I am on Twitch at The Lazy Turtle, and that's 2 E's for the because somebody already had Lazy Turtle
and The Lazy Turtle.
Yeah, and they also had The Lazy Turtle, and I was like,
The Lazy Turtle.
Exactly. The laziest turtle. But yeah, so I'm on Twitch, and eventually I'll get back to streaming, but I don't think it'll be SWGOH.
All right. Well, when you do, when you do get back to it, do let us know. We'll definitely get the word out. But thank you for all your help with everything when it comes to Cam, when it comes to other streamers. You have been a great support, and that's why we wanted to bring you on to say thank you.
Appreciate it
publicly. And thank you, Neil, for finally convincing him to come on.
I appreciate it, Neil.
No worries, buddy.
All right, guys, stick around. The last time you're going to see the latest episode of Hellion the Noob, because next week is a new one. And then Patreon's choice. If you are a Patreon, get your questions in. If you're not a Patreon, but you have those channel points, you can hit the button, use those channel points, and we will answer any question, unless it's totally wrong, through your redemption of your channel points, coming up on the bridge right after these messages right here on the Escape Podcast.
HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with additional features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or Territory Wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Podawans, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards including access to Shitty Bill's Arena tracking bot, after-show access, inclusion in the GA Center leaderboards, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is patreon.com/The Escape Pod, and sign up today. Thank you for supporting and listening to the Escape Podcast.
And now time for something completely shameless.
A few hours have passed since we last encountered our intrepid interlopers. Cartoon Hellenix and his droid companion N00B decided to take a short detour on their trip from the Outer Rim world Rune to the Ecumenopolis Coruscant, pit-stopping on the industrial planet Corellia. Corellia is the adoptive homeworld of the vile Salty Spartan, and, coincidentally, the home of the galaxy's best space gyros, as voted by a bunch of Gamorrean food snobs on Insta-hologram. We pick up our short story as the two fugitives walk back to their ship, which is incidentally parked in a yellow zone.
Can we please hurry up?
Meatbag.
Relax, newbie. We're going.
We can't keep stalling, Hellenix. My scans of the
HoloNet
indicate that TC-14 has sent even more agents after us.
Noob.
Yes, Hellenix?
I said relax, droid. What are you so worried about?
I don't know, Hellenix. Maybe it was that
bounty hunter
we ran into back at the BZ Grill. As I just told you 5 minutes ago, if I'm scanning the
HoloNet,
and if I know we are now listed as the galaxy's most wanted criminals, then
other people
will also know this and come after us in hopes of being paid some kind of massive reward.
And like I told you, newbie, I could not fly past my homeworld without making a quick pit stop for some space grub. Everybody knows Helly can't resist a good space gyro. You know, one with everything on it. With the onions and the tomatoes and the salt and the pepper and the oregano and tons of tzatziki sauce. Ooh! And the space fries wrapped into the gyro itself. It's literally irresistible to all carbon-based life forms who also happen to have taste buds.
Hellenix.
Yes, noob?
Isn't it pronounced space?
Rose?
Are you seriously trying to correct how I pronounce Greek words, newbie?
You do realize most of our audience
doesn't speak Greek.
Our audience is smart, noob. They'll get the gist of my insult.
Our audience is indeed smart, and Hey!
Wait a second.
Why did you just insult me in Greek, Hellenix? I'm always at my best. It's part of my programming.
Relax, newbie. I'm just jabbing at you. You know what I said wasn't all that insulting. Sheesh.
Spartan.
Hey, Shaman, my man.
We don't
have time
for this, Hellenix. We can't make another pit stop. We simply
must keep moving.
Chill, newbie. The victorious Viking is my guy. I don't care who's after us. I'm stopping to say hello to my friend. What's up, you old space wizard?
Following the will of the Force, as always. I felt a tremor in the aether, and it guided me here, where now I see you. The mystical realm predicted our encounter.
Ooh, this sounds intriguing. Tell us more.
Oh, jeez.
At dawn, I was struck with a vision. In my vision, I was leading a ragtag group of warriors through the jungles of Felucia. One of them was a super hot blue-skinned Twilight troll. So anyway, we arrived at a clearing in the jungle, and there, in front of us, shone a brilliant beam of light. It was so bright, I was forced to turn my head and shield my eyes. I looked back at the party I was leading, and to my shock, the brave warriors were all gone. In their place was a battle-damaged, obviously scared, kind of pathetic, seemingly short-circuiting, teeny, little PK series droid, kneeling down as if suffering from mechanical failure. I sensed his sadness. I felt its pain. I returned my gaze to the beam of light, and as I did, it was extinguished. And in its place, I saw an ancient Jedi temple, now corrupted, and in disrepair. And there, at its entryway, stood a lone, small, sad little mouse, staring at me, as if I stole its cheese.
And then what happened?
I don't know. The vision ended.
Oh.
But now, I see you, Hellenics of you all, accompanied by that same droid, here, on Corellia. This is the droid I was looking for.
Coincidence?
No, Spartan. Providence.
Well, you know what that means.
I have a
bad feeling
about this.
Stop being so pessimistic, droid. I think our duo should become a trio. What do you say, Shaman, my man? Wanna join our ragtag group of warriors? We could always use a wise old sage to lead us on our journey. We're headed to the capital on Coruscant.
Lennox?
Ah, jeez, noob, what do you want?
Don't you think it's a bad idea to have a guy who's wearing a helmet with
Viking horns
on it leading us to
the galactic capital?
I can't see any rational being having any objections with this idea, newbie. Besides, I said it during the last episode. I intend to piss everyone off over the course of the next few months. Now shut your trap and let's get on with the skit. Okay?
There he is. Time to attack him.
No, we're under attack.
Wait, why does everything suddenly look like a SWGOH PvP battle? We've been attacked plenty times before, and
not once
has this type of overlay appeared.
If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times, newbie.
I know.
Don't think about it.
All right, boys, let's get this battle started. Okay, looks like this is going to be a turn-based system with each of us having a basic move, a special move, and a summoning move, I guess.
But SWGOH doesn't have any summoning moves, Hellenix.
Stop over-analyzing the episode, newbie, and start reading these Rock Eyes kits. There may be something important hidden in there. Check their speeds versus ours. Who's going first?
I go first. Pebble throw 1.
Ow!
I'm next. Pebble throw 2.
Hey! Do you guys mind? Sheesh.
Are you injured, Spartan?
Oh, no, I'm fine. Those two pebbles literally took like 1 hit point each off my health and protection. I'm fine, but... getting beamed in the head like that was annoying as hell. Anyway, newbie, looks like you're up next.
I will first read the descriptions for all my moves before attempting to use them.
No time to read, noob. Just do a basic.
All right, I guess.
Here goes nothing.
Stealth? That's your basic move? You run and hide. It figures. Whatever. All right, it's my turn. And... shameless self-promotion.
And you were complaining about my basic, Hellenix, while your basic is literally just you
saying your catchphrase?
At least I actually did something. All you ever do is talk.
Just talk? Why, I oughta...
Rest easy, comrades. I know all my moves. I actually put in the effort, unlike a certain unnamed Laconian gamer. You see, I play all 5 of my daily squad arena battles. I participate in all my guilds' TWs, and I actually try during my GACs. On my basic, I throw my hammer.
Whoa, cool! Is that real-life Mjolnir?
No, young one. This is Mod Linear. But yeah, it works pretty much the same as Thor's mallet.
Oh, great. Now, why didn't that cause any damage?
Ha ha. Get good, losers. Ha ha.
Ow, jeez, would you two morons just stop throwing tiny little pebbles at my dome?
Well, folks, looks like we've run out of time for this episode of the poorly animated pseudo-cartoon, Helly and the Noob. Tune in next time to see if the lethargic Laconian can muster up an attack other than his basic. Let's face it, folks, saying shameless self-promotion has never really hurt anyone, not even their feelings. Will the noob be able to come up with an idea better than going into stealth? Will the victorious Viking shaman find a way to use his hammer that actually causes some damage? Find out if the salty Spartan has in him what it takes to beat these two rock creatures. I know we're all on the edge of our seat, waiting to find out. Who am I kidding? I'm not. If you want the answer to these questions, and many more, make sure to stay tuned to the Escape Pod cast every Friday night so you don't miss another episode of Helly and the Noob.
The Escape Pod cast The Bridge.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. It's Patreon's choice time in our fourth and final segment of the show. Paul, do we have a lot of questions?
We don't have a lot of questions here. I'm sure some will come in as we go along. But one question we did get was from Sephiranus. If you could design your own Crumb-style puzzle, what kind of concepts and items would you see? I would spread it out amongst the community that once somebody solves one area of the puzzle and they've noticed that it's been solved, another content creator would go live with their little piece. I would use streams of people solving the puzzle to be okay guys, it looks like Operation Metaverse has created this little has solved this little piece. Let's move on to the next piece, which is, oh look, it's over on Escape Podcast, or Gambit has the next piece and they'll broadcast the next piece or post it in their Discord server, and then it would be interspersed throughout the community. What about you?
I would make lots and lots of clues. I would hide a lot of the clues in the extended universe books and comics. If I was doing a puzzle, people would have to know their extended universe. They would have to know their extended universe, or they would have to have access to the extended universe in order to be able to, figure out what they needed to do in order to solve the puzzle.
So let me build on that. Would you be like page 32 of Heir to the Empire? A character that comes up on this is the cipher for this piece, or what? Explain to me more.
There would be no hints on what book or what comic it is. It would just be like dialogue and image. If it was something from a comic book, it would be a partial image of a window pane from a specific comic or graphic novel. And if it was dialogue, it would be dialogue from a book, but I wouldn't say what book it was from. And there would be a missing part from everything. And if you once you put all of the missing parts together, it would make something that made sense that you would use in order to solve the puzzle.
But Bodhi says a word search that reveals, "We apologize for the inconvenience." Oh man. Oh, that got me good. So, that actually is all the questions we currently have. If anybody else has any, you're more than welcome to redeem channel points, or to if you're a Patreon, to put them in the room. While we're waiting to see if anybody adds anything else, what do you have coming up in your content creation schedule, Neil?
I've got round 3 of GAC. This weekend.
Are you gonna do that Sunday, or are you gonna do that Monday like early afternoon?
I don't know. It depends how I feel. It really, really does depend how I feel. I might do it. I might do it this evening. I might do it Monday morning. I genuinely don't know. It depends what's going on in the house. It really, really does depend what's going on in the house. And then we'll have the first week of season 4 for GA Center at the beginning of next week. So today I will mostly be making stat templates for season 4. Now that I've got a bunch of icons. So yeah, because we've got a lot of new content creators to cover in season 4. We got like 10 or 11 new content creators that we're covering in season 4 because of all of the retirements from previous seasons. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting season. Definitely.
I don't know if we've already announced them or not. Do you want to announce them while we have a moment right now?
I mean, we can mention the names of the people that are. I can mention the names of the people that are in it. That's not a problem.
Yeah, the new members
in front of me.
Just recently, if you guys haven't seen the episode of Tactical Advantage, I was on a podcast last Saturday with Trevor Boy, Eldor, Trouble on Demand, and Ringer, who those are new people for this season, right?
Yeah, so the list of new competitors. So for we've got 3 new in Div 1. So we've got So Def, Sean and Wee, and Darth Pear in Division 1. In Division 2, we've got Bit Dynasty, Army Hutchins, Ringer, Trouble on Demand. In Division 3, there are no new names in Division 3, just people that got promoted from Division 4. Division 4, the new name in Division 4 is Eldor. And Division 5-6, we've combined the division because the requirements for offense and defense are identical for Division 5 and 6. So we've just lumped them all in together into one division. And that is the new names in that division are Trevor Boy, Big Country Mags, and J Productions. So yeah, a lot of new
BCM coming from the Patreon leaderboard, as he's now a streamer and has been consistently. That was the big thing when we were looking for new people. You know, they had to be in a division we had underrepresentation of, but also that they were consistent in streaming.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, definitely check that out. Scheduled Tuesday night, unless numbers are delayed for some ungodly reason.
It happens from time to time.
But definitely looking at that. Sepharana says, what's one Lego Star Wars kit that you don't have that you would love to get your hands on? For me, I would love to have the Mos Eisley Cantina. That thing is amazing. More than the Super Star Destroyer, because the Super Star Destroyer, it doesn't look... Yes, it's got some cool stuff on the inside, but it's not really... On the outside, it doesn't look that good. With the Cantina, it's the frickin' Cantina, Neil. What about you? Is there a specific set that you would love?
No, I'm not. I'm not into Lego. I'm just not that into Lego. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's nice to look at, but yeah, it's way too much of a financial sink. I could never ever justify the expense ever. It's just not something.
Well, I got my hands on a Lego that I'm doing off stream, but the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yeah, you showed me that one earlier on. I mean, I've got a Lego Boba Fett, and a Lego Darth Vader, but they're the Lego figurine alarm clocks, and it's more that they're Star Wars figurines that are alarm clocks. Rather than the fact that it's Lego, but they were in Goodwill for $2 a piece, so I wasn't going to say no.
Yeah,
I really wasn't going to say no to those two things.
One of our very, very good friends, Darth Rada, Darth Scion, 1972, sends us a hello and hopes we're having a good day. Mm-hmm, so I wanted to make sure I mentioned him. It's been a while since we've talked to him. All right. For me, tonight, as soon as I'm done with lunch, Mrs. Anthony and I will be on Vault 37 Studios playing Lego Clone Wars. I think we're probably going to finish out the story missions tonight. That'll be nice, and then we'll go back and do free play. But we've had a lot of success finding some of the characters in Red Bricks so far. But 100%ing is going to be a chore, Neil. That game has things in very, very odd places. That's all I can say about that. But it is it's a lot of fun. And then I may be, depending on work schedule, if I have time, I may pop in for a GAC or two right here on the Escape Podcast channel. It's always fun when, I pop up and I get people in chat. You're not Nev. No, I know. So, yeah, so we're going to effort, we'll try to end all be all. It'll be great. And remember, if a puzzle hits that week, Crumb said that he would come back on to talk about the puzzle itself. And we all know that I want it to be Hondo. Any parting words, Neil?
No, we're good to go, mate.
All right. Be nice to each other, damn it. Wait a minute. The buttons are over here, so you need to do something.
Yeah, goodbye to everybody. And Paul, push the button.
Don't mind if I do.
What's going on? Where the hell are we? Paris?
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button.
Attention! This is Colonel Sanders in forward command. Abandon ship! Abandon ship! All personnel proceed to escape pods. Close down the circuits. Evacuate the city. Self-destruct mechanism has been activated. Abandon ship! Where is it? Where is it? It's gonna be here. Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works.
This ship will self-destruct in exactly 10 seconds. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 6.
What happened to 7?
Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. The Escape Podcast was filmed in front of a live studio audience full of tweaked out murder bears.
Sit, Boo Boo, sit. Good dog.